There are just over 800,000 horses in the UK alone that are currently having similar positive effects on people as to that of being out in blue and green spaces. We know from current research the positive effects of nature and being out in blue and green spaces can have on our mental health. Doctors are now prescribing getting out into nature to people diagnosed with anything from depression, anxiety to ADHD and autism.
We know that nature has a really transformative effect, which allows people to ground, to connect, to appreciate nature.
So how come horses can have such a great effect on people? People who own and love them have long experienced this, but it's very difficult to put into words exactly the effect they can have on us. I love horses because they give me a space to just be with them and be on my own and just talk to them. And they always know what you're feeling, and they know what to do to make you feel better, don't they?
From an early age, they were like a drug, basically. I was not from a horsey background, and at primary school they took us for riding lessons, and that was it. That was the start of it. And I saved up for my own pony, and that's when it became more serious that I wanted to work with them, and it just built up from there.
You know, I put all my trust in these animals, and he puts his trust in me. It's a massive connection to have with such a willing creature. You know, what other creature, you can't talk to them, but he knows exactly what I'm feeling, what we're doing. It's a massive connection. They're an outlet, you know, for me. If I've had a bad day, I feel like they understand how we're feeling.
And actually there's now research that can back up what horse lovers and owners have been experiencing over the years.
I'm Dr. Donna Pode. I'm based at Falmouth University. My research is primarily focused around wellbeing. The research that I do covers lots of different types of wellbeing research with many different types of people. And one of those is looking at the relationship between animals and mental health. One of those being the Horsemanship for Health, which was evaluating the effect that horses have on people with mental health issues. So we were really looking at a very exploratory study to see what the benefits and impacts were, both short-term and long-term, on people. Some of the obvious changes were people were reporting changes in mood. So they were reporting feelings of feeling more positive. Also, people were going through a lot of processing. So what tended to happen after the sessions, that people would be quite, during the session, some people would be very emotional. So it would tend to release some type of emotional trauma that people were suffering with at the session. And being with the horses, just the touch of the horse, or the horse looking at you, or being with you and choosing to be with you, was also really profoundly impactful for lots of people.
The impacts that horses can have on people is so significant that they have been being used by the RDA since 1969 to help those most in need with both mental and physical disabilities.
So I have two horses, one called Tonto and one called Shorty Boy, and they both make me really happy and comfy to thrive.
And do you talk to them at the end?
Yeah, no, and I talk to them in the end. I say thank you to them in the end.
And are they soft with you?
Yeah, they are soft and friendly for me.
We would also see people, if we were observing them on a physical sense, that they would instantly relax. Bearing in mind that a lot of the people had had no previous connection to horses at all. There's no criteria that says you must be familiar with horses. It could be for anybody. And actually some of the participants would say they felt quite fearful and nervous of being around such big horses, but in their presence they would then just start to relax because they felt that connection but also felt the presence of that horse. So they would explain it as this non-judgmental, supportive type of feeling. So it could be a physical touch or it could be an emotional connection of some sort that would... You would see people laughing, you would see people smiling and just wanting to be with the horses, wanting to touch them all the time and stand next to them. All of our participants were just so super keen to come back each week. Some people would say it was the only thing that they were looking forward to. We've sat in the howling wind and rain with horses and people would still want to be out. The weather did not affect us at all because it was just such a strong urge to be outside and to be with horses and nature that everything else just didn't seem to matter.
She's saying, get off. Get off. If they have a bad experience.
Knowing features.
Gemini.
Yeah.